Happy Wednesday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? It is Wednesday, December the 23rd. December 23rd, 23rd day of Flossmas. Happy Flossmas, everybody. I neglected to do the giveaway yesterday that I said I was going to do the Because Monday giveaway yesterday on a Tuesday, and I didn't. So today it's the Because Monday giveaway on a Wednesday. I chose the winners. I had 2 winners from the Facebook group. That's the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group. The chart that was up for giveaway from last Monday was I was giving away 4 PDF copies of the Home for the Holidays Flossmas 2020 holiday ornament designed by Patty Brake of 4 boys and a Newfoundland girl. The 2 winners on the Facebook group were Millie Rose and Vicky Pickstock. So congratulations, Millie and Vicky. I will be emailing you your pattern as soon as I have paid for them and that I have your email address. Then the YouTube random comment generator, the keyword was snowman, and so I ran it through the comment chooser this morning, and the 2 winners that it came up with, the first one was Valerie Rennell. Congratulations, Valerie. I knew your name. And the second winner with the snowman comment was Christy Martin. So congratulations, both Christy and Valerie. If you could please send me your emails. Actually, Valerie, I think I still have yours. But Christy Martin, if you see this, if you could please send me an email, caroline@evertote.com, and I will get your PDF chart to you so that you can stitch it. I do not have a new giveaway for this week because, well, it's a bit of a busy week, I think, for everybody. So I will be back with the Because Monday giveaways next week. I only have a few other things to share, but before I go any further, I'm going to ask my mother, Mom, if you're watching, I'm going to ask you to leave now. Turn the show off. You can catch up with me later. Because I'm going to show something that I'd like for it to be a little surprise for you. So if you could just turn off the video. I'm going to give you a minute because usually if you've got my video on, you're in another part of the room. So I'll give you a moment to make sure that you turn the video off. So I'm going to show everybody my sock first because that's not a surprise. And that will give my mom a chance to turn the video off. And then I will carry on with the other thing that I wanted to share with you today. So I worked last night on my 12 days of Christmas sock from Timber Yarn. I'd mentioned we were supposed to record Fiber Friends podcast this morning. Well, we tried, and boy did we try. And once again, I think it was my fault with my internet. I cannot figure out what's going on because the Zoom quality is terrible. As soon as you add me into the mix, and there's 3 of us, it's terrible. But we could chat on Messenger, the 3 of us, and it was totally fine. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with Zoom, but we tried everything, and then we couldn't figure out how to record it, and it was an hour and a half of a gong show. It was just really. We had nothing usable at the end other than maybe a few funny pictures because we were playing with the filters at the end just to have some fun. So I was working on a bit of knitting last night to have to share with the podcast. So at least I can share it here on my channel. So yesterday I was at the beginning of the white stripe, and then I managed to complete the white and the purple and half of the pink stripe this morning, and I love this sock so much. I can't wait to wear these. They're so fun. And I've changed my mind about the mini Timber Yarns. This Christmas collection set came with a choice of mini that you could use for the heels and toes, and it came with this one's called Cake Boss, and this one's called Big Red. And I was going to use the brown. I was going to use Cake Boss. I've changed my mind and I'm going to use Big Red because I've seen a finished pair of these socks and they used the red, and it's Christmassy, and I just love that color. Love it. I mean, let's face it, this Cake Boss color is no slouch either. But I think for my Christmas socks, big red it is. So I'm going to add that in. I have another inch to go before the heel. So yeah, that was fun, and it's coming along. So the other thing I did was I worked on my triangular curve shawl, and you won't be able to tell. I have to start putting in a progress keeper so that I have visible proof of movement. This is a pattern by my friend Josh Moll. Josh is the woman I made the quilt for, and the quilt is on its way. So, you know, collective fingers crossed that it makes it to the Netherlands safely in decent time. This is the triangular curve pattern, and Josh is a knitwear designer, and you can find her charts on Ravelry, and the information will be in the drop down box below, how to spell her name. So this is oh, I love this yarn. This was a yarn that was dyed by my friend Adrienne when she first started dyeing yarn, and she no longer does it. So it's a really, really beautiful teal in a cashmere merino blend, and it's the softest yarn. And this pattern that Josh wrote, it's very simple, and it develops this really beautiful I-cord border as you knit it, and so it's got that really beautiful finished edge. And I love wearing really simple shawls like this all winter long under my coats. And this is a similar color to a shawl that Josh knit for me, and that one I keep it downstairs because my coats I wear a lot of black and gray, and this always gives me a really nice pop of color under my coat when I go outside. So I love this. So it's one of those things, it's garter stitch. It's a very simple little technique at the beginning and end of each row to produce that little I-cord effect. And so I think I've done 3/4 of an inch in growth since the last. In fact, you can actually see the line. That's where the needle was for a really long time, around here, and then I knit all of the new stuff there. That will block out when I wash it, so not worried about that. And frankly, I wear the heck out of them just wrapped around my neck, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so just double checking that my mother has left the room, because guess what? Turn it off now, Mom. I mean it. Turn it off. Guess what I did? I FFO'd my stars. What? I know. I couldn't resist. I was working on some 12 Days of Christmas bags for orders, and I had some scraps of the print, and I knew that this was the backing fabric. I had scraps of that I wanted to use as the backing for these stars, and on my coffee break I cut out the pieces for the first one just to try it, and then so then when I was done work for the day, I put them together and I stuffed them, and look at how cute they are. I'm going to show one at a time so that I can get them to focus. So I used a pearl cotton number 8 for the cord, and that was the dog may have learned a few new swear words, because it didn't that did not go well. That did not go well. I don't know what was wrong with me, but that cording, trying to get that cording attached, it didn't catch. I'm not used to the, I was trying to make use of what I had. So I was twisting it kind of like a skein of yarn to get it to loop up upon itself. And then when I sewed the thing together, I didn't catch all 4 of the ends that I had in it. Anyways, that was a bit of a nightmare. But so they're finished and stuffed, and I just stitched the bottom closed. And when I was making them, I thought, we're about to do a present drop-off, a porch drop for Christmas gifts for my side of the family. So my brother and sister-in-law and their daughter, Clara, and also my mom and dad. And so we will not be spending Christmas together, but we will be driving by, dropping presents off on the porch and waving hello, very socially distanced and masked and everything. So it you know, like everybody, Christmas is very, very unusual and different this year, but at least we will be able to see them for a few moments and be able to spread a little bit of Christmas cheer. But I thought, how perfect would these be? One for each, one for my mom and one for Kathy. They are both crafters. My mother is a beautiful knitter. She doesn't knit a lot. She's not kind of crazy like me with the crafting, but she knits beautifully. She's a monogamous project worker. So she's a project finisher. And I haven't decided which one to give who. And my sister-in-law, Kathy, is just like me. She's a voracious crafter. She hasn't met a craft that she hasn't completely mastered. And so I know that these will be little gifts that they will treasure and love. And I thought, what a beautiful little present topper for their gifts this year. So I'll just have to stitch them again for myself. I'm really funny about giving away things that, because, you know, I made the quilt for Josh and I had no problem giving that to her. And I made the socks for Herb and I had no problem giving him the socks. I don't have a problem making things for people and gifting them. In fact, I find it quite exciting. Oh, and I also did the smalls exchange. Let's not forget about that. The small that was not a small. That was the Stitchrovia pattern, the Stitchrovia chart that says I read past my bedtime, and I turned it into a project bag. So when I start a project from the beginning with the idea in mind that it's a gift for someone, then I'm happy as a clam, and I will, you know, beaver away at this project and complete it and gift it happily and joyously. And I love seeing the reaction of people when they get it. But when I start a project and it's for me, in my mind, when I'm starting it, it's very hard for me then to make the switch to then say, I'm going to give it away. There's a little kid inside me that's like, oh, but it's mine. It's mine. I was making it for me. So when I put these together and I saw how perfect they were, and I thought, these really would be perfect gifts. For once, I didn't have that feeling. I didn't immediately think, oh, well, I don't want to give them away. And I have a feeling it's because of the package that I received yesterday from Michelle with the ornament that she'd made for me, and how happy that made me feel to receive that gift that she had stitched for me, and all of the other stitched gifts that I've received from other people. I think you're changing me. I think you're changing how I feel about giving away things that I've made that I had intended for myself, but I think I'm feeling much better about it. And so I wanted to thank you for making me grow. Isn't that funny? But I'm so pleased with these. They're just so cute. They're so cute. And look, I finished them. So they won't hang on my tree this year. So I'm gonna have to make some more for myself. So it's a 28 count gingerbread fabric, picture this plus, and 2/2 with 2 skeins of the new Leo and Roxy floss. And the pattern is called Christmas Stars, and it is by Dorothy Kunze of, now the full name of the shop is, and I'm going to completely butcher this, Werkstatt für Historisch Stickmuster. I'm so sorry, Dorothy. But Dorothy is the one who designed the chart, and you can find the Christmas stars pattern on the Silk Stitching app. And they are beautiful. They are beautiful. I'm absolutely so pleased that I started stitching them. They're addictive. I already have my Q-snap loaded up with more fabric, more of the gingerbread fabric to stitch a few more for myself because they were just that enjoyable. So fun. So fun. Okay, so if you have been watching Ginger Gerald, you will have seen that he started a shawl, a wrap for himself called the Pay It Forward wrap. I can't stop thinking about that wrap because I have had 2 skeins of yarn in my stash since I'm gonna say early 2019. I can't remember exactly when, but I think I bought them. No, it would have been mid 2000. I don't remember, but I bought them for my birthday for myself. I think. Again, they've been in my stash for a while. But when I think about starting another shawl, I keep thinking about these 2 skeins of yarn. And when I saw his Pay It Forward shawl, I thought these 2 yarns would be absolutely perfect for that shawl. So this is a Leo and Roxy. It's called Beats Me. Look at that color. That color. And this is a Dream Color to Life, and it's a BFL sock with nylon. So that's a blue face luster. Slightly different wool content in here. And it is no, that's not that. 85% superwash, blue face luster, 15% nylon. So this is 420 yards, and it's called Element 79, 536. That's the information on the skein, in case you also love this yarn. Let me show you the color up close in just a sec. Okay, so that's the information on this particular colorway, and there's the front of the tag there. And look at this color. I mean, wow, look at that color. That's just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. And so this would be my main color, and this would be my the holy bits, the lacy bits. So at some point in the new year, but I now have a project in mind for those 2 skeins, so they can stop swimming around in my brain now. I figured it out. I know what I'm going to do with them eventually. But I won't be casting that on until I finish a few other things. But I thought you might like to just see, because, you know, sometimes 3/4 of the fun is dreaming about it. And then, you know, when you have these random skeins in your stash and you think, what am I going to do with that? I don't know what I'm going to knit with it, but you bought it because you loved it so much. Then turning that into a plan, it still feels like I'm using my stash, even though I haven't cast it on yet. So anyways, that's it for me today. The new auctions will be up this afternoon. I will tell you more about the auction items tomorrow, but they will be there. I have let me just tell you briefly about them, because I don't have the information written down yet. So again, this is a little bit slapdash today, but it's a couple of days before Christmas, and I think we're all kind of, this is that time of year where there's 10 balls in the air at the same time. So I have yet again another donation from Holly. Holly has been so kind and generous that we have raised over $200 in just 2 weeks of auction items directly donated by Holly. And she has another item that will be listed this week. It is a kit by Owl Forest Embroidery. I believe it's the Baba Yaga design, the little witch. I have to double check which one it is because I didn't check the photo carefully before I started talking here. So there is an Owl Forest, it's a full kit in the box. And then from my friend Sylvia had, she had purchased the 45 count Jersey cream linen to go with the traditional stitches and Morrison stitch along. She decided that fabric was not right for her, and so she emailed me and she said, would you like this for donation? And I just think, I mean, the fabric is gorgeous. That's the fabric that I have for stitching and Morrison on. So I've seen it, I felt it, it's beautiful. And then Sylvia said, well, I also have a couple other things I can add to that. So the auction item is also going to include some fabric that was dyed by Vicki Clayton. So some really, really beautiful, I think it's just a mystery colorway. I want to say it's 28 count, but again, all of the details will be in the auction listing itself. And on top of that, there are some Vicki Clayton silks, some thread that Sylvia has as well, and she is going to put those in the listing as well. So I have yet to go through the photos and make sure that I'm going to be listing the bidding price correctly to start that. And then there was a third item. What was the third item? It was, oh yeah, this one was from me. Okay, because I couldn't decide if I was going to save this till next week for next week's auctions, but I'm going to list it so that we have 3 things this week. Okay, so this is from my stash, and I really had a good think about this, but I would rather that it raised some money than sat in my stash. And this isn't going to be for everyone, but if you love the color orange, I think this will be just completely up your street. So this chart is from Glendon Place. It's one of the amazing desserts collection. It's called Pumpkin Swirl. This has been in my stash for a couple of years now, and I have come to the conclusion that because I'm still only halfway through tiramisu, I am likely not going to stitch this. So instead of it continuing to sit in my stash, I would love for this to raise some money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada and to go out into the world and be stitched and loved. So this is the design. It's called Pumpkin Swirl. And so you can see I paid $25 Canadian for the chart. But I also, when I bought this chart, I bought all of the silks. So these are all of the Dinky Dye silks that you need to stitch this chart. And I paid $70 Canadian for the silks. So you will be getting, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the Snapperland charts. I'm going to include a notions pouch, a needle minder with your initial on it, and some hot chocolate. So that will all be also included in this package. So again, all of the Dinky Dyes, I'm not going to open it. I'll leave it sealed. But this hasn't been touched. It hasn't been opened. It's you know, exactly the same as the day that I bought it. And I just wish I had more time, you know, I just wish I had more time to do all of these beautiful things. So I'm hoping that somebody out there will give this a really good new home and stitch it and love it and enjoy it. So this will also be up for auction later this afternoon. Okay, and that is it. That's it. It's the 23rd of December. I have some sewing to finish up this afternoon, so I better get to it. And it is yet again mostly gray outside again today. It'd be really nice. We could use a really, really nice sunny day. That would, I think, I think that would go a long way to lifting people's holiday spirits. It's trying to be sunny out there, but it's really not. So, but that's okay. We will carry on. We'll probably still make sure that we try to get our walk in later this afternoon. Anyways, okay. So that's it for me today. Take care, everybody. I hope you're well, and I hope that you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you tomorrow, the 24th day of Flossmas. Happy stitching, everybody. See you tomorrow.